Welcome to another edition of The Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, the illest battle rapper in the game, here to bring you the latest in battle rap news. Now, this week we're here to talk about the mighty, the incomparable New Jersey Twork. Yes, New Jersey Twork has done it again. And when I say he's done it again, I don't mean he's given another great performance. He's done it again in only Twork fashion, in a way that only Twork can do it. He was scheduled to battle Swamp this past week, on caffeine. And even though I was off, I felt like I took the Saturday off. I felt like, I can't explain it. I was off, but I felt like I sacrificed my Saturday. Even with quarantine, I felt like I sacrificed my time and my emotion for this battle because that was the one I wanted to see. I wanted to see if Swamp was really for real. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't bought into Swamp yet. I'm not a hater. I haven't bought into it yet. But to his credit, it's not about me buying into Swamp. It's about the people. If the people buy into you, that's all that matters. And the people as a whole have voted him in. So that's all that matters. So I was waiting to see how this was going to play out. I thought if Twork came prepared, but we all know with Twork that if is a hell of a if. So I'm waiting for the battle after Low, so I'm getting ready. And then Smack starts with the whole, I don't even remember what Smack said, because, with all the, you know what I'm saying, and all that in between, you really don't know what Smack speaks his own language. I think he said something about, there was too many battles. We wanted to save some for the next week. But it's like, we all know what it was. Twork wasn't ready. So, you know what? I just said what I said. I'm not going to take it back. I'm not really totally impressed with Swamp, but that doesn't matter. That's not me disrespecting Swamp. That's just me giving my honest opinion. You know what I mean? That don't mean that he may not still be the next best thing. But to me, at least, I'm not all the way there yet. We will see. But that's not what this is about. It's more about Twork giving yet another Twork-like performance and not showing up. So, everybody notices this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. It seems like I don't know what Twork's value is on the Richter scale at URL, but it must be a hell of a value because Twork can do anything and get away with it. Anything and get away with it. Twork's a different type of dude when it comes to URL, Jack. He gets away with it. He beats up Norbs, puts it on camera. Norbs gets fired. Think about that. Now, my question is, it's not my business. It's not my business that I'm running. So I'm not going to change it, but this is just me talking. My question is to URL, is Twork that damn good? Is he that damn valuable? Here's how I see it. When I look at somebody like Geechee, I think here's a young man that gets it. Geechee, unless he's lying, he comes from a rough background, and he gets accepted into this world of battle rap, and he's making how many thousand per battle, and he's like, yeah, he's calculating, like if I do this many battles, I can make a living off this. And so even though we criticize him for taking battles, you can't knock him, especially coming from where he's coming from and the things that he could be doing instead of that. So we should be applauding the young brother to overcome the negativity that he's overcome and to turn it into a positive. So Geechee sees the big picture. Like, yo, this is a legit living. And with Twork, I try to excuse him because he's younger, but even with that, I don't feel there's no excuse. I'm 50 years old. I never made my age a secret. I'm a battle rapper. If you don't like it, then so be it. You know, it's not about age. It's about if you got it, and I got it. But this is not about me. I look at Twork sometimes and I wonder, does Twork understand the blessing that he has? Let me explain this to you. When I wake up every morning, I go to work. I've had a lot of different jobs, but for the last 10 years, I've basically done call center work. And I like the people at my job. We have a lot of fun, we joke and we play. But when I'm on that phone, sometimes I think to myself, I hate this job. This is not for me. And for a guy like Twork, you're getting paid to just rap sometimes one verse, two verses, three verses. You could show up high. Nobody's going to drug test you. You're on stage full of a bunch of weed smoke and Hennessy. Nobody's going to fire you for that. All they want you to do is to deliver your verse or your three verses. What is there not to be motivated about when it comes to that? And on top of that, you get to see different places, experience different people. Do you know how many grown-ass people have never traveled outside of their own hood? This is a blessing. But yet Twork still doesn't get it. And URL, for whatever reason, his value must be like unprecedented because they're not punishing this guy. And it makes you wonder, you know, see, sometimes you got to see the big picture. So I feel like even if URL doesn't punish Twork, there's a thing called time in life. And it happens to all of us. Father Time happens to all of us. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a little older than probably the average person that's watching this, but I'm going to give it to you in a way that where you can still understand it. I remember when Allen Iverson was that young dude that stepped on the court. He was the young guy on the court. And then, you know, it seemed like Allen Iverson was just gonna average 30 points forever. And then all of a sudden, it hit, and he lost a step. And then, you know, he went through whatever he went through, got shuffled around to different teams, and he came back to Philly. And I remember Allen Iverson giving a little post-game interview, and he said, I know I can still play. I know I can still play. But he was crying. And it kind of hurted my feelings because I remember thinking, like, he's not the AI that I knew. He's not in his prime no more. And I remember when LeBron was a young-faced kid in the league. When you think of LeBron, you think of the guy that came out of high school. But now LeBron is the veteran who needs to play this year because he's thinking like, yo, G, I ain't got much more time left. And so even if URL doesn't give Twork the boot, eventually the hands of time will change and someone else will have to come in and replace him because that's just how this works. And what it saddens me because I feel like Twork isn't taking full advantage of the blessing the way he could. Because when you do things like, say, beat up Norbs, URL may overlook it, but that person that thought about perhaps putting you in a movie, they may not look at it the same way. A guy like Nick Cannon, who may have thought about putting you on his show, he's looking at that like, I don't know if I can trust this dude. So even when one hand lets you get away with it, the other hand is thinking like, all facts. And somebody needs to give Twork a smack. I don't know who it is. No pun intended. Not you, smack, because you're not going to smack him. Somebody needs to pull that big Negro aside and give him a backhand chop to the mouth. Somebody, anybody, give me your Cash App so I can pay you promptly so you can give Twork a smack right in the mouth. Whop! Big one, right in the mouth. Because I'm so sick of this dude and his foolishness. It's sad to me. Because when you see guys like Danny Myers that gives his all, JC that gives his all, and they can't seem to get that next battle, that next big battle, and Twork just all but comes to the job drunk. Twork, let's cut to the chase. Twork is the Josh Gordon of battle rap. How many times is he going to get reinstated? I get it. Twork is talented. But you know what? Twork is a young man, and he doesn't get it. But one day, if he's lucky, he's going to be 40, he's going to be 45, and he's going to look back, and he's going to say, you know what? I could have made more of that opportunity. It's just that simple. He's going to look back, and he's going to realize how good he had it. And it's nothing like when you have a situation and you don't make the best of it. And Twork is not making the best of this situation. And I'm tired of it. As far as I'm concerned, battle rap can go on without him. URL may not feel that way, but he couldn't be on my league. I'll be done with him already. I would just be done with him. I don't care how popular you are. I'll get somebody else. It just is what it is. You know, Twork, you're out of line and you're going to get smacked. I'm going to Cash App somebody so they can smack the living shit out of you. Because enough is enough. There has to be somebody else out there. Geechee Gotti is battling everybody. I'm sure I'm on his list too. I'm sure if I fly to California, I can sneak in a battle with him and just lie and tell him that I'm on his itinerary and he will battle me. Geechee Gotti for president. Twork, leave me alone. That's how I feel. That's all I got to say for another edition of The Buck Stops Here. Peace, love, and whatever else you think of love. I'm your host, and I'm out.
You know it, and this fucking hoe know it.
Come on, leave him alone.
Yeah? Yeah?